Good day, viewers, and welcome back to another episode of Zen Minutes. It's been a while. I think we've skipped 2 weeks or a week or something since the last video that we did. Of course, I'm going to explain all of that. So let's go ahead and do our creed. Blessed are the weird people, the poets and misfits, the artists, the writers and the music makers, the dreamers and the outsiders, for they force us to see the world differently. So, last week, or no, the last 2 weeks, I just need to say what I learned from my last video. Very funny, but it's four things. Number one, technical difficulties. From simply trying to omit sections of a video clip, trust me, that sent us into, oh my goodness, a whole different world of editing and all that stuff. It was not pretty, it was not nice, and I just wanted to do one simple thing. But anyways, from that I learned that the internal storage size of a phone matters. Internal storage of a phone, the size matters. Because before you didn't think about that, I think, okay, you could record a video and blah 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 and that's it. No, internal storage size matters. File size, format, file size, file format, and file types. Those matter as well. As I tell you, we will learn as we go. So those matter a lot. File size, file format, and file types. Then another thing was, oh my goodness, the annoyance of junk files, aka the cache, aka temporary files, hidden files. They take up all of your storage space. All of your storage space. So, and I mean, you clear them, as you clear them come back. You clear it, it come back. But oh my goodness, I looked at the thing, half of your, say your storage have like say 100. About 70% of it full up system things, junk things, all of that. But anyways, we learned a lot about that, during that time. System files take up like half or even 3/4 of your storage space on your phone, you know. What else? And we learn about, the average amount of space a picture takes up versus a video clip, and it depends on the resolution and blah blah blah, a whole lot of stuff and all that. So I found that it's best to keep pictures and videos to cloud storage or an external memory drive. So yes, we're getting there little by little, but oh, that was so irritating and annoying last week. And all you wanted to do was just omit certain sections. I just wanted to, omit certain parts of the clip and make it small, make it like 10-15 minutes instead of that long. But anyways, I want to definitely say though, thanks to Panda and Kerron, big up on yourself, for always taking the time. They always took the time out to answer my questions and bear with me. Because things that, I guess I should know is like, so what is this? So why this do this? So why this do that? Thank you, Panda and Kerron. Big up on yourself. Thank you all the time. Always bearing with me. Trust me. So this week we're going to talk about minimalism. Just a little quick chat about it, and because it's something that I call it a project as well, because it's something I've been doing a good while, but it's one of those things that the project is never ending, because it has a lot of levels to it. It has different levels, so you do good in this area and then there's always something else to do, which is life. So what do I want to say about minimalism? It's individualized. You have different limits for everybody. Everybody have different limits. What is minimal to you maybe not be minimal to somebody else. Certain things people need to function and make their life more manageable and better. Some people don't need as much things. So it's different limits for different people. It's individualized. But everything has an essence. So the essence of minimalism is to, let me see what I have. We use less. The less we use, the less resources we will need from the earth. And to me, the less wars over resources. So, I mean, one little thing is like a ripple effect. The less consumption, the less this, the less that. And to me, it goes all the way up to less wars. Because we know most time the war, they're being fought over resources. Scarce resources. Limited this, limited that. Yeah, as Iwin would say, fighting for land and oil. And we need the land and the oil to mass produce these things that we need in our daily lives. So it's that using less and preserving ourselves and preserving our habitat. We need the environment to survive. So yeah, that's the essence of it. Using less, using what we have, and not to think that we need more. We actually don't need as much as we think we do. But yes, that's the essence of minimalism. Downsize, using less. Um, we are definitely over consuming by far. So that needs now have become necessities. Things that were not necessary before are classified as necessary now become a necessity because we've gotten so used to um, the how we live now, the lifestyle and things that we need, the things that we use every day have become necessities when they weren't that way before, you know. So at the end of it all, I will challenge you to experiment with minimalism in any area of your life. Choose one area and try and minimalize in that area, whether it's with your clothes, whether with your shoes, furnitures. For people, guys, people who love a lot of furnitures in their house. Oh my goodness, when I see a lot of furniture in people's house, I don't know. It's like my mind is crowded. Crowded outside to me, mental crowd outside, translate to mental crowd in my mind for me. So try and experiment with it, as I said. Minimize with your clothes, downsize with your shoes, your furniture, kitchen supplies. Some people have a lot of stuff, like even some people kitchen like it's full of stuff. So try and do that. Beauty supplies, for the ladies, because women have a pack of stuff. I mean, yes, we want to look nice and everything, but some of these things that we consume, not necessary, trust me. And your workspace, we can try minimizing workspace area. Try embrace try to embrace the beauty of less. That is what I challenge you to try and embrace the beauty of less. So what does minimalism mean to you? And I want you to ask yourself that as well. What does minimalism mean to you? For me, it's my way of keeping my memory space, the storage in my mind, free and spacey and light. For me, that is important. Different things for different people. But to keep the storage space in my mind free, spacey, and light. That is what minimalism means to me. And for the environmentally, as I said, less consumption means the less need for natural resources and less consumerism. And of course, as I said, less consumerism, less wastage, less damage to the environment. Because we know it all comes down to what we consume and why we need all these things. It's about consumption, consumption, consumption. And I know for the economy that's good, but it's like good economy destroying your habitat. We have to make a choice. We have to find some kind of balance. And I know people have been saying that for a long time, but I don't know. The balance is just not being met because we're really over consuming. We are. My actions. So there are little things that I do that I'll say that and I would encourage if you want to try. I always have I believe in uniforms or a few set of work clothes. Try and have like a few set of work clothes. Have a set of clothes that you only wear to work. You don't need to be buying a, a big wardrobe to go to work. You know what I'm saying? You can have a set of things that those are my uniforms. Those are what I will wear to work. And shoes as well. So those are your work clothes. So, if you're going out, you have different stuff and everything. But some people actually have their whole life surrounded with current work clothes. Always staying current. I mean, just you could try it. Try it. And my hand paper towels. So a lot of people We have the paper towels that you use. You wash your hands, you dry it, you throw it away. I mean, you go to especially now we're washing our hands 24/7. So what I do is, instead of every time you dry your hands, throw them away, I have a little bag that I keep those in, and you can use those now to either wipe up spills, wipe off the face basin or whatever, so you don't have to just throw it in the garbage. That's like throwing your money in. You can use it, throwing your money away. You can reuse it to wipe up spills, or if you have something to wipe up and clean, you use it that way. What I also do is have one set of eating utensils. You don't need a million. I know some people, every time they drink a glass of water, they put it in a sink. So by the end of the day, the sink is full with cups. You don't need to do that. What I do, I have a set of things that I eat out of. I like to have like my own special things, a special cup, special spoon, special. That's what I do. And I would keep it in the fridge. I keep my cup in the fridge. Every time I want something to drink, I use that, wash it out, and put it back in the fridge. So it's always there. It's one set of things that I use. Sometimes for bowls, I'll use that. So for stuff that's not greasy or stuff like that, I just use that bowl repeatedly. Wash it out, put it back. So it's always there. One set of stuff that I use. And of course, you don't want to, go into the whole plastic thing. We don't really want to use plastic and stuff like that. So you use, things that are natural, easy to break down, and all of that, yada yada. And I aim to only have one suitcase full of garments. So in the case that you need to move or whatever, I just use it as an example. Like if I need to move, like to another country or somewhere else, I don't want to be thinking about, oh my God, how am I going to carry all my stuff, to pack all this and to put that. No, I want to actually, my aim is to only have one set of things, either one closet full, or one, what you call it, wardrobe, or chest of drawer, one of that. I don't want to have like a big old closet space full of clothes and shoes. It's just unnecessary. It is unnecessary. And I know that for some people, it gives them a sense of, I don't know what to get, joy, fulfillment, or whatever, but we can find other ways to feel joyful and proud, and whatever it is that those things bring to people. We can find other ways of doing it, and with less. So I challenge you, experiment with minimalism in some area of your life. And I want to just read just about 3 passages from this book that I have. This is, I said, this guy that I follow. It's called The Simple Guide of a Minimalist Life. Leo, as I said, I don't know how he pronounces his name, Babauta, but it's good. It has a lot of good tips in it, and I just wanted to read just a few that he did. It says, learn the concept of enough. This is the idea that we don't always need more, that once we reach a certain point, we have enough. The key is to learn to recognize when that is. Often we don't realize we have enough and are caught up in the cycle of more. Having more breeds wanting more. It's an endless cycle of more, an addiction to acquiring and owning. We need to learn when enough is enough and be content with what we have. This doesn't happen overnight. It takes time, but most importantly, it takes a consciousness of all of this, of necessities versus wants, of more versus enough, of being happy by doing and not owning. Over time, this consciousness will result in a contentedness with what we already have, which is a true foundation for a minimalist life. As I said, plenty good little tips, plenty good little reminders, plenty good, things to take into consideration. You can check out the book. And another thing he says is take a picture of things, because some people, we know we don't want to give stuff up because it has a lot of sentimental value. So he's encouraging us to take a picture. If things have sentimental value, it's because of the memories they hold, not because of what they actually are or what they can be used for. So take a digital picture, or if it's a picture or document, scan it in your computer. You'll still have the memories, but they'll take up no space. Try this for at least a few things and see how that goes, right? You'll see that the sentimental value of things can be moved into the digital space to defeat the fear of losing, your sentimental things. And this good thing is headed, have a maybe box. If you just can't bring yourself to get rid of things, have a maybe box when you declutter. This is a box for all the things you're on the fence about. You put them into a box. Mark it, put the stuff in a box or a closet or other storage space. And he says after 6 months, if you've not needed it or never used it, get rid of them. I think 6 months is too much. I say 3. After 3 months or 4, but 6 is too much. If you go half, you will be willing to keep it for another year. But try and do that. Put a maybe box and just have stuff in it. And by the end of the, time, you get rid of it. So the final thing I want to read about is his tip about decluttering system. So he gives you some tips on how to start for people who like, where do I start? He gives you some tips on that. So he says, here's a brief system for decluttering. Start with one flat surface at a time. And I find this to be a good tip. It can be a countertop, a tabletop, or a section of a floor in a room, the floor of a closet, or a cabinet. Just focus on one shelf in a closet at a time, for example. Take everything off the surface, or out of the drawer, or out of the cabinet. Put all of it in a big pile, or gather them up. Put them up and gather them up. This will be your temporary workspace. Then take one thing off the pile at a time. Make a quick decision about it. Do you love these? Do you love and use them regularly? Have you used it in the last 6 months? If so, separate it and put it in a key pile if it's something that you use regularly. Or if not, you put it if you want to do donation, you put it in a donate box. But for me personally, I find that having a donation box or bag, you're just going to keep it there. You're not going to do it. So I would say put it in a toss it bag. Toss it, keep. You can have a third option, as he said, the maybe box. You have a maybe box. So you go, as I said, you have your pile, whatever pile you're using, you're working on at the time. Do you want to keep it? Maybe, or toss it. And you repeat this process with every item in the pile, one at a time, making quick decisions with each of them until you're done. But yes, that's the main thing. I challenge you to experiment with minimalism in one area or something of your life. Choose something. For women, I would definitely say choose clothes. Choose clothes. Experiment with minimalism in your clothes area of your life. Just, try and minimize. Minimize, and your beauty supplies. And, for men, I have a lot of men too who love fashion, because nowadays, men love fashion. Try and minimize, and embrace the beauty of less. So, as usual, don't forget, we exist to bear existence. I'm always saying crap with that. We exist to bear witness to each other's lives. And we do this every time we share our time, every time we share our energy. Energy is a very powerful thing, people. It's your focus. It's so much things to explain what energy is. But we know that you don't have to physically be around something or someone to know that your energy is being used. But we know what it is. It's our energy, it's our emotions and all of that. So every time we share our time, every time we share our energy or our emotions and our attention especially, we bear witness to each other's life, and we use up our time and our energy. So we need to always be mindful of that and make sure that we can fill up, or we have enough to give out and don't need some back. If you're too much, some people, you don't need it back. You get it from, I would say, the universe. Different things that you do, people that you have around in your circle, you have enough to give, so you give. Because some people will not be able to give you back that energy and that time and that thing that you need, that the spirit needs to keep strong. They just don't have it. So if you have some and you can give it. Don't expect it back from, a particular person or whatever. But as long as you're getting some and you can have access to the resource to fill back up, we can give some out. And whatever set of beliefs that work for you and bring you the most peace, please use them. And see you next time. Thanks for watching.